Hey, yo, what the f***? This is a pally right here.
The late night flight is paid for by the following. Hello. I have 3 questions for you. When you're talking NBA with your white coworkers, do you say that Dallas Mavericks point guard Luka Doncic is the best player in the NBA to position yourself as non-threatening in the office? And when black people think that you talk like a white person, do you reply, hey, you would too if you graduated from an HBCU? Are you Rachel Dozer? If you do or are any one of these 3, then you are suffering from the contribution of white privilege. Hi, my name is Nasur Nuru, and if you are looking to go from Wayne Newton to Wayne Brady, please give us a call at 1-800-HELL-NO-CANDIS. That's 1-800-HELL-NO-CANDIS. Give us a call now before you turn into Tay Diggs.
It's a bunch of us. I'm a hand in the colony.
Hold on. Everybody on their Martin, everybody marching for a young nigga like me to get tsunami on it. I'ma get it, I'ma win it, baby. I'll be on my curry till I crash and burn it. 40 on the text. Yeah, I'm acting nerdy if it's at the Appalachian to the Appalachian. I'ma do whatever that they take to make a black a nation. Hold on.
Is Andrew Gilliam gay? Oh, what the f***? He really gonna ask this question? I'm telling you, gotta ask that wife, yo. I'm telling you, she the one, she know everything. The wife knows. All right.
I think the wife, real talk though, I think the wife is just doing what black women do. His career, his legacy, everything that he's worked for is bigger than everything else.
But you know what's funny about that, though? Here's the funny thing about that. Now that you're talking about the legacy. He can be a gay dude and have the same legacy. But because he's married with 3 kids, that's where it gets tricky. Because you're married with 3 kids and you don't just hang out with a couple guys, have some drinks, and just, go back home. Like, no, you have a meth overdose with a gay escort. Like, you just went straight opposite.
Mm-hmm.
And then OD'd in it. So I'm going to assume you had a great time.
And you're going to assume that it wasn't the first time.
What does that matter, though? I don't give a f***. Why should you? She the one that should be given a f***, if anything. But the married one.
But that's the whole point, is that, if she is married to a gay man or married to a bisexual man, right? Is that truly a choice that she's making, or is it a political choice to say, listen, you have to put on the front for the TV camera so that this man could get back into, good graces of the people and continue his public service?
That's bullshit. See, I just, you know what? I'm not saying, no. I understand what you're saying. But if I was someone in that public relations meeting, I would have said, that's bullshit. Listen, Andrew, what are you going to do? Are you going to not be with her, or are you going to be with her? Matter of fact, wife, are you going to be with her? Like, what's going on here? Because here's the thing. You can turn it around the other way too. Like, hey, boom, I'm bisexual, I'm gay, whatever. Like, that's the angle he want to go now. So you do it without the wife. I ain't saying you hold, hear me out. Just hear me out. I understand what you're about to say. You do it without the wife. Now you gotta put the full turn on, because you saying you bisexual while you're, see, you could be bisexual and single. That kind of makes sense. You bisexual when married. That's like, huh? Because now that put the wife is just, you have to basically say, yo, I've known this since I met him, since I married him in 2009.
Mm-hmm. So this is what I'm saying to you, is that if you, in the situation, right, where a woman is married to a bisexual man or vice versa, right?
Mm-hmm. I got you.
They are automatically agreeing to polygamy. You know what I'm saying? So
okay.
I don't believe that, again, whether if they're in a marriage, right, and he's out other men or whoever outside of the marriage, it's cheating or it's, you know what I'm saying? Like it's infidelity. So is she
or is managed? Is managed?
Is she truly agreeing to that?
That's what I'm saying. Or is managed? It could be managed too, right?
Managed as far as what? Like an open relationship?
Correct.
Okay.
I'm just saying, once again, something that they don't want the world to know because maybe the world's not ready for that. But now because this has been exposed, now he has to put that out there. And my question to the whole, is he gay? I guess I answered that question with the question, I'm sorry, America, for being that type of rude person, but I guess I'm being respectful as well. Ask the wife.
Yeah. I mean, again, like you're right in that it doesn't matter what his sexuality is to anybody else except for the people that he's having sex with. Right?
I mean, ask Janelle Monáe that question. She's the pansexual. She's the one that says, do not label me as anything. I do what I want with my body, when I want with my body, how I want with my body. And everyone loves Janelle Monáe.
And that's fair. And the shit, to be honest with you, that should be the standard for everybody. But what I'm saying to you is that just as you analyze it and as we see how this all transpired, it seems real public relation-ish, and it's very convenient.
I mean, absolutely, because I would say, well, maybe there is still some type of stench on being a gay politician. I mean, look at what happened to McGreevy in New Jersey. But see, it's funny when, I don't mean to say it's funny, but it is funny as in like, that type of funny. When they have a marriage and children. And I'm not even here to talk about like, oh, they married and they are queer. Nah, I'm not even on it like that. That's not my point. My point is you find out about all this stuff and on the back end, and then they are so embarrassed by it. Then they basically say, I don't want to deal with politics no more. Or I'm not, he basically stopped being governor over it. I don't understand why would you do something stupid like that? Mm-hmm. I'm not going to let, my gayness, if that's what how McGreevy is coming. Like, I'm not going to let something little small like that stop me from running the state. You watch your mom. Shoot, if I was McGreevy, I would have just halfway turned South Jersey into San Francisco if it was going to be like that. A Jacksonville man shot his male doctor for making him during his prostate exam. Is that rape or a sex service? Oh, you really gonna ask that question too? The question really is this rape? Did the urologist, correct?
The urologist, yes. He's a doctor.
Yes. Did this doctor rape his patient?
Now, I think he raped him. Because now there's experts in the article that say that that's a typical side effect of a rectal exam. I've had procedural rectal exams to check for prostate cancer or, just to make sure that I was in overall good health. And the way that it happened, it was nothing sexual about it whatsoever. So you have to ask yourself two things. Like, all right, so the patient receiving it, was that a kink of his that he was ashamed about? And he was aroused on his own recognizance? You know what I'm saying? Or did the doctor stay in that place a little too long? You know what I'm saying? Because, like, listen, hear me out. When I had mine, right, it was from a woman. My urologist is a woman.
Oh.
Right? A young Black woman too. You know what I'm saying? And for all intensive purposes, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, she was, doing a whole lot of stuff to me during my exam. You know what I mean? She had her hands on my penis, although she had gloves on, but there's nothing in that room.
That don't make it better?
Listen.
Okay.
There was nothing sexual about that exam. Even though I can look at an attractive woman with her hands on my penis.
Is she attractive?
She's attractive. I'd say, yes, she's attractive.
Define attractive. Like, I'm Trump style. What's the number? I'm sorry. I need to know.
I would say, well, okay. I would give her an 8. Right?
Yeah.
An 8, but because she's a doctor.
That's a life. You giving her an 8 because she's a doctor? No,
I'm giving her an 8 just on general principle. Like, so
okay.
Nice looking woman, short, dark skin. She has a nice body. Yeah,
Okay. All right.
8. But if she's a doctor on top of that, she's an automatic 10.
Okay, sure. I'm with you.
But
you don't get hard when she put like latex gloves and she's just like,
When she asked me to lay on the table with my pants down, asking me, how does this feel when she's touching my balls?
Right.
And examining my penis.
Okay.
I was not in a comfortable position and I did not get aroused at all.
You don't ask her questions?
And the thing about it was because she was talking to me very matter of factly, like, what's been the problem and, how often are you urinating? Like she's asking me general, like regular questions and shit. And I'm having a conversation. But a part of me, I think what happened was I was scared that I was going to get an erection. Like, because I'm like, yo, this is a urologist. And I'm not sure exactly how in depth we go during the appointment. But when she told me to come in and take my pants off.
Right.
I'm like, oh, it's going down. And the whole time, the anxiety leading up to the appointment, I'm like, yo, my dick gonna get hard while I'm on this table. I'm being embarrassed. But I think that fear actually caused it not to happen.
Oh, that's cool. I mean, I wonder if she's some type of feminist. If you did get hard, like, would she be mad? I hope that she wouldn't be that type of person. I wouldn't want my female doctor to be mad if I get hard. I would want her to be complimented. Like, I want her to be like, yo, like, dang. I mean, I'm just saying, because if she's a married woman, I mean, should she care?
I'm sure it happens though. I'm sure in her line of work, as she chose to be a urologist, how many she sees and how many she touches, that some of the men get aroused during that process. And it's probably pretty normal.
That's what I'm saying.
Probably pretty normal. So I wouldn't think she would think like, oh my God, you're a pervert. And I wasn't, you know what I'm saying? It's just for me. In my head, I'm like, I don't want to be in that position.
So let's go back to the guy who basically got fingered.
Anally raped.
He got anally raped. So what if this was obviously this had to be your female doctor, but what if your doctor, who just happens to be a female, did the same thing and you wound up...
Right.
What say you, brother? Are you shooting her in the chest twice, or are you calling her later?
I would ask her if she wanted me to eat her to return the favor.
All right, so, you heard it here, folks. He wouldn't have killed her if it was a woman. That's what it sounded like. Or maybe he just didn't want that doctor to know his personal fetish.
Well, his girlfriend in the interview said he was extremely homophobic. But you know how that go. When men are typically extremely homophobic, it's because they're closeted. You know what I'm saying?
And he has a girlfriend, just to even put more cover on it.
So, but in all seriousness, right? Like, if for any reason that doctor, knowing that the human anatomy, caused that man to ejaculate on purpose, then that is rape.
Hey, yo, what the f***? This is some pally right here.
Why is Prince not only a great mentor for Dave Chappelle, but for you too? Okay, that's a good question. I like that.
So Prince, if we all remember, was the artist who did not go by the name of Prince after he realized that, you know, the record labels owned his stuff and they were, you know, he was going to war with him. They wouldn't let him perform his own music.
That's right.
His name to the artist.
That's right.
The symbol. Mm-hmm. And he, you know, continued to be great, right? Yep. And then he fought for the rights of, you know, himself and other artists, letting people know, like, you know what I mean, this industry is flawed, it's crooked, it's, you know, they're making money off of our backs, and we are the creators, we are the drivers of this. So he took a real stance, and for Prince to be Prince, who's like one of the most revered artists of his time, for him to take the stance that he took was pretty, you know, phenomenal.
Hell yeah, definitely.
So then, you know, the Dave Chappelle article talks about how when Dave Chappelle took a stance at the height of his career,
Yep.
you know, he looked to Prince for support. Prince was the one person that he could look to and say, listen, I'm not crazy, because Prince, who is Prince, you know, basically did the same thing. And it's about ownership. It's about you saying to yourself, like, yo, I am a creative, you know what I'm saying? But in this business of monetizing my creation, I should get the lion's share of it and not these companies. What say you?
Prince was so big, and the labels were, in his eyes, in his opinion, because I'm not Prince, in his opinion, robbing him. So he developed a new character based on his character, just without the name. And what he told Arsenio Hall when he had a sit down with him, when he, you know, premiered as, you know, this symbol, wasn't Prince anymore. He said, hey, if I can sell 1 million records independently by myself, I can make $10 million. If I make 2 million, I can make $20 million. Now, mind you, this is an artist, okay? Artists already, to the normal everyday worker eyes, make money already. He's putting this out in public, saying, hey, this is my idea. I need you guys to come buy my album as this symbol, so I can make this money. Now, I don't have any stats on how many albums he sold under that platform, under that name. But it's Prince. So, I mean, this is the same Prince that people that had arguments over who's better, him or Michael Jackson, you know what I mean? Before he even turned his name into that. You get what I'm saying? So the great thing about having this ownership is that usually you already a name, you're already someone that is, you know, so big as far as a household name. You have sweat. You have money accumulated already to break off and say, you know what, I'm about to go do my own thing. Mm-hmm. It's hard when you don't have money, because you're going to have to give up something so you can have money, so you can find a way to buy it back. Like, look at the Wu-Tang Clan. You know, the Wu-Tang Clan, they came from the bottom. Once they built up the money, what did they do in the end? They bought it, they kept it, and then they sold it.
Right.
You know? So the point I guess my point is, of course, all of that is great and ownership is great. It's just that it comes in so many different flavors. It comes in on so many different lanes. I think that young entrepreneurs that are just starting out and don't have like big investment money. You don't have Jay-Z money. You don't have Prince money. So when you're starting out, you have to, you know, see what type of road you have to take in order to get where you think you need to go. I mean, and of course, there's so many independent streaming sites that you have, like with YouTube and with gamers, you got Twitch now. There's so many different lanes. Like, that's the thing about with Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle, just like Nick Cannon, if they really wanted to, this is how I know it really costs money. That costs money to have a streaming site and have all of your production and have all that on your own. Last week, you was talking about Tyler Perry. Like you said, yo, Tyler Perry, You got a production studio, so you got all types of equipment, but you don't know the quality of it. You don't know if it's Scorsese-like type of equipment. We just know that he has a production studio. And based on what he be creating, it doesn't look like he has, like the top of the top notch. I'm pretty sure he has like B-level equipment. Who knows? But the thing is, it's all about an investment, and it costs money. So all I know is that, I applaud Prince, I applaud Dave Chappelle, because they found, Dave Chappelle, let's be honest, with that Netflix deal he did, you got $20 million per episode, he made his money back. And then some.
Yeah, Dave Chappelle, definitely. Yep.
He made his money back and then some. So I applaud anybody in this world that's willing to risk it all, bet on themselves, because they know that their talent is something timeless.
Who pissed off Kanye to the point that he on his Grammys?
Kanye is trying to piss off the whole of music. He wants to disrupt and, change the current way that music is being run. And I don't know. I know I've seen everything from, Cadillac Records, the 5 Heartbeats. It's the age-old story. I watched it's a documentary called like The 2 Deaths of Sam Cooke. It's an age-old, the music industry has been basically the same, where the labels hold all the power, take these young artists, and they sell them the cream of all of these riches, but they own all the publishing and the masters, and they make all of the money.
It's pimping. It's pimping. This is what it is. I mean, we distribute your work. We give you the streets for you to prance on. So yeah, we basically gave you a platform. Therefore, we want 70% of this shit. That's basically the talk and the idea.
Yeah, so like what you typically have happen is it's an unfair imbalance, right? But it's kind of just been the way that things have been going. And even when you have this thing where it's like, okay, artists are understanding it. So you have artists that own their publishing, that own their masters, that own their record labels or distribution and all of these things. But as you can see, Kanye released 100 pages of his contract. As you can see, even Jay-Z is still privy, like even Jay-Z is still under the same rules. Jay-Z is not going to own all of his masters until 10 years from now.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Kanye has a clause in his contract that says throughout the world and in perpetuity, right? Now that's standard language in a record contract. And throughout the world means that you can't go anywhere in this world. And in perpetuity means forever. So you can't go anywhere in the world forever without us owning your music. Why would somebody sign a contract that says that?
Because of distribution. When you are Big Sean and you are from Detroit, and Detroit don't necessarily think that you are the best rapper in Detroit, because there are a lot of motherfuckers in Detroit that rap 18 times better than Big Sean, but Big Sean is something special. At least that's what he think. And guess what? He may think that he has more drive than the other Detroit rappers. So what do he have to do? He has to go independent. He has to, I guess, build up some type of fan base on his own. However it happened, I don't know, by himself, drug money, investor, I don't know. The point I'm making is now he's down with good music. He's down with Kanye. Not the best rapper in Detroit, but a rapper from Detroit. That's how do you get to be nationwide? You jump on good music. You jump on Def Jam. Def Jam is going to distribute your music out to the world, to the nation, to the world. And we're going to split the profit. because your money, your quote unquote independent money, isn't good enough to get Detroit, where you're from and what you represent, on your back, or get Michigan as a whole on your back, where you can be just sitting there right in Detroit making money from everybody in Michigan, and the labels are dropping to you, trying to find out how can they work with you. And now they have to work with you because they have come to you. But see, that's what they don't tell you. Everybody just, especially if you graduated, if you class in 1996 to class in 2006, you basically went to Sean Carter's business school. You know what I'm saying? So everybody want to talk that business. But what they don't know is that in order for you to play this, I want to do my own thing and I want to have my masters, you have to have money. If you don't have money, then you're going to have to play the other game where it's like, I'm going to have to use a creation for them to buy into my shit. And then maybe I can either buy it back, or when I'm done with my contract and I made, let's say, some money where I can basically do my own thing, that's when you got to just bet on yourself and say, well, I'm going to do my own thing. Kanye, Jay-Z, they all have money, bro. They had money 9 years ago. They can always leave.
No, but here's the kicker, right? Because all of that shit made sense 10, 20, 30, 40 years ago. Today, none of that shit makes sense.
No, it don't. Yes, it do.
Today, somebody signing that record contract would be retarded.
I mean, to somebody that don't get it, that don't have no money, or
because the record companies don't do shit for you today. Because all you do is you listen. Lil Nas X, Lil Nas X song went platinum before he, signed any record contract. The shit went viral already, but he thinking, I need more. I need validation. I need, what's the guy name?
Hey, my man, don't believe that hype, dog, because he did the song with Miley Cyrus' dad. That shit ain't just that. It ain't as independent as what you think.
Hold on, this is what I'm telling you. What I'm telling you.
All right.
Listen, the song popped.
Right.
They rejected it as a country record, right? They wouldn't put it on Billboard, would not put it on the country charts. It was already charting. So he brought in Billy Ray Cyrus as country music validation to then get it in the mainstream country chart. But other than that, the song was already viral and doing everything that it needed to do. He had all of the leverage. He did not need a record label to do anything for him.
Bro, okay, I'm going to keep going. Keep going. Mm-hmm.
But it's the age-old thing. It's like, they dangle some money in your face and you feel like, oh, you know what I'm saying?
My man, hey, who the did he not tell? Stop it, dog. I'm not even going to listen. Are you serious? You know why he went to a label? He ain't that dope, dog. But he's going to always have a home now. See, he's setting himself up for the next. What? You talking about just another songwriter? That's what you saying? No, I'm just saying, bro. Like, I get where you going. Okay.
Yeah, what I'm saying to you is that as an individual whose song is viral, if he understands how to monetize it, if he goes to the right people and maintains ownership of his masters and publishing, he does not need the record label for any of this. They are already a machine, and they can throw a few $1 million at his head immediately. But if he does the work and slow grinds it, he reaps all of the rewards. Another thing.
What if he doesn't have the money to do that?
All right. So if he doesn't have the money to do that, right, then he needs to have confidence to say, wow, this song is doing this X, Y, and Z. The record label is off. Look at Master P, for example. I'm going to get to him in a second. But the record label is offering me X amount of dollars to buy the song from me, license it, and then help promote it and distribute it to, they're going to put me into more homes and make me mainstream, right?
I'm listening.
If I own my own and I, slowly build that grind up myself, or if I go to the record labels and say, hey, I want you to do this for me, right? But when I sign the contract, I'm going to ask that you only have the rights to this song to distribute it for 2 years, as opposed to throughout the world and in perpetuity. A short-term contract as opposed to a lifelong sharecropping deal.
They call 365 deals, but go ahead, keep going.
It's sharecropping.
Yeah, no, I'm with you though. I'm with you. I'm not against you on that. I'm listening to you.
And even with Kanye West, right? So Kanye West, who's on the hottest rap label around, who is mentored by Jay-Z and Damon Dash, still sits down and signs a contract that says in perpetuity throughout the world. So Kanye West doesn't believe that after my first 2 albums that I'm going to be an international superstar and now I can write my own rules. So he signs a deal that is going to have people in control of his music forever. That's crazy. Because today, Kanye West, the billionaire, any music that he releases would hopefully, if he was able to get out from under his contractual obligations, any music that he releases today can be completely 100% independent, and he could do whatever the he want to do and own all of it.
Well, here's the funny thing about that too. All right, it's a two-way street with that. Let me get to the short part right now. Whenever his contract is up right now, his next album, he should be wilding it. Point blank, period. No, I'm just keeping it real. Just look. Gotta move forward. I'm a move forward type of guy. So that basically sounds like his next album, he can just, let's put this together. He can do another presidential campaign gimmick that he likes to do and put another album out and people gonna suck it in. Because look, Kanye is a dope artist. Now, here's the other thing. All right, so he can move forward, do that. Now, let's say, because I'm with you on, hey, maybe the second, third album, why would you could just, be like, I'm out of here. First of all, he's with the winning team. This is the same Kanye that was supposedly living in Newark, New Jersey, catching the subway, going to New York to go put in beats with Rockefeller. And then think about this. Here's the funny thing. Sequel has his own team with State Property, and Memphis Bleak is the number 2. You surpassed both of them. In a blink of an eye. With one album, you surpassed both of them.
For sure.
College Dropout made you number 2, and they didn't even want to admit that.
Facts.
Now, okay, you got, late registration, graduation, all these albums come out. And, they under Jay-Z. So you mentor Jay-Z. I'm pretty sure that contract between you and him, he's mentoring you, but at the same time, kind of own some of your shit and, whatever above y'all two own y'all. Now, meanwhile, Jay-Z been giving us, Jay-Z business school lessons, of course. We go to Sean Carter Business School, You've been teaching us all these business bars and shit. You've been wanting to spit for like 15 years now, whatever. They have all the money in the world to just say, I want to do it by myself. They don't do it because every business person, male, female, they know that you rather spend somebody else's money than yours.
Hey, yo, what the f***? This is some Valley right here.
What the f*** is a P-Valley?
I just would like to be able to define what my sexuality is, because what I feel like is there's a lot of things that men do that get classified as gay, right? So one of the things that stood out to me where I was scrolling through my Facebook page and I saw like a woman post something to the effect of like, oh my God, all of these straight men or quote unquote straight men are watching P-Valley, right? So P-Valley is, this show on where
I don't know.
It's about a strip club, but the strip club is run by a transgender. Is he trans? He's a trans woman, but he's iffy because he has a beard. He's just like this intersectional person because he has a beard. He's a man, but he is a woman. All of these different things to kind of you don't know where to kind of classify him.
He's
right?
pansexual.
Pansexual. Okay, let's use that. So in the show, there's gay sex that happens between this man and another man. You know what I'm saying? And because the gay sex is in the show, women are essentially saying that straight men who watch the show could potentially be gay.
Hey, yo, dude.
You know what I'm saying? And the is
hold up. Do she have a man though?
I don't know. I'm not going to question that, but
No, you should definitely question that, yo. You can't just have some woman that you got to know her relationship status, yo, because if she have a man, I would probably want to hear more about the tirade. Like, okay, let me see where she coming from, because she got a married man, so she basically, going off her experience with the man that she has, unless she doesn't want him. So the opposite reason. And then, or the other thing, she could be single, and she's single for a reason, because she is devastated with what she's seeing. With the men that's watching the show of the Valley in the Theater, something like that. Yeah. So I heard it's on Stars though.
It is.
So do you like the show?
Yeah, it's a decent show. But I don't want to listen. As a man,
yes,
I want to be able to define heterosexuality.
Okay.
Right? And I don't want anybody else to be able to be like, yo, what you're doing. Like, yo, if I like to get my hands and feet manicured and pedicured, I want to be able to do that and be comfortable. I want to be able to do things that I feel comfortable with, and not have my sexuality questioned. You know what I'm saying? Anything short of me having sex with another man, I should not be classified as gay for things that I like to participate in that are classically viewed as feminine. You know what I'm saying?
This is why we need honesty for real in relationships between men and women. Well, men and men, women and women, don't, with each other, period. But hear me out on that, on why I'm saying that. So I always hit home with this whole honesty thing. Because on some real shit, Hanif, I'm not trying to be a therapist, and I'm not telling you what you need, but imagine you being with a woman right now that respects you totally. Like if you told her you want to get, that what you said, your pedicure, your feet, what the you just said about your feet?
I want to get a manicure on my hands and a pedicure on my feet.
Okay. And she was there with you, like that's part of your day. After that, y'all about to go do some, I don't know, yacht party. I don't know. You get what I'm going though, right? Y'all doing it as a team. She respect everything that you want to do, like everything that you want to do, because she put you as her man. She like, yo, you doing that? No problem. That's the type of woman you would want in your life. Would you not?
Absolutely.
But you technically in your life, you may not have found that yet, have you?
No, I wouldn't say that.
Okay, so you found a woman where you can tell her things sexually that you may want to try, that the everyday woman may not be down with, Well, or like you telling a woman that, hey, P-Valley is a good show. And I don't care what woman that says, gay men watch P-Valley says. I don't know. Like,
the women that I typically talk to and deal with, like, aren't, especially about a show that I'm watching, like, and we can have conversations in that lane. As far as sex goes, like, I would have to admit, like, I'm pretty vanilla when it comes to sex. So I'm not asking for anything that would be perceived as gay. Now,
is that because you need to identify yourself as a man? Like, so as a man, you need to be vanilla? What is that?
No, I mean, it just doesn't appeal to me. Like, it's just not something that, like I was thinking about this, right? So I would think that there's nothing about a man that arouses me, right? There's nothing about men that makes me feel like, you know, I'm curious to what sex would be like with a man, right? I have zero, you know what I'm saying, interest, right? But with women, like when I see women, all types of different women, like I imagine, you know, being with them. I want to be close to them. I want to touch them, feel them. You know what I'm saying? And then I could see men and be like, yo, that's a nice looking brother. Like he keep himself up. He in the gym, you know what I mean? He's a nice looking dude. I could say that confidently and not feel like I want to be with him in any type of way. So with that being said, you know, there's things that arouses me sexually, you know what I'm saying? And it's just typically real basic shit. I see a woman with a nice, I see, you know, the softness of a woman, the scent of a woman. All of those things do enough for me to feel good sexually. So I'm not asking women to do anything that, you know what I'm saying? But with that being said, I understand where if I did want to, I should be able to interact sexually with my woman how I want and it not be viewed as gay. Because if it's not with the man, then it's not gay.
Hey, yo, what the f***? This is a poly right here.